Let's move on. You've got a couple things we want to talk about this week.
What do you want to review, David, or do you want to do? Let's do the review because
sure.
we get review. The other thing review.
Yeah, story of the century. Yeah. So we did a standard. We're going to do a standard review this week. Now Jordan unfortunately did not participate in this
because he doesn't play video games. Video games.
I don't play video games. I have an Xbox One and I use it for
Netflix
Plex.
and Plex. Yeah.
Hey, listen, got to find a way to use it. But this week we checked out the brand new Xbox One game,
Forza Horizon 3.
See, now I have not played. I played Forza Horizon. Forza. This is hard to say. It's like rural juror. It's like
rural juror.
It's Forza Horizon, the first one. I didn't play the second one.
Gotcha. I played a little bit of the second one. I didn't play the first one. So it's an open world racing game. It's more arcadey than it is simulation, like the other Forza Motorsport games.
But you have all the licensed cars, which is usually what's missing.
There's 350 cars in the game, with more to come with the usual monthly car packs or whatever.
Can you do the Nissan Sentra though?
I think there's probably
there's a lot of cars in this
like
game.
regular cars.
I got Tesla Model S, which is super cool by the way, because it's one of the fastest cars. It's like like really quiet and stuff, and it's super good though. But yeah, it's just a simulation racing game, or not simulation, but arcade racing game set in Australia, open world, mate
the whole time.
French on the bar, babe.
They totally play up the Australian thing like right from the beginning. It's like ugh.
And the story, I guess you can call this game, is normally in the older Horizon games. I did the same.
See,
thing.
it's hard to say.
We can just say Horizon game.
Horizon,
right?
Sounds like a
Horizon game. Is like you were part of this Horizon Festival, which is like a racing festival. I think last year it took place in, I want to say, South Africa or something. A small subsection, but
it's like Burning Man, but all over the world.
Yeah, think of that. But this year it takes place in Australia. It's a large part of Australia, and you are actually running the festival. So you start out in a little bit. You get fans as you do races, and you open up different festival locations around Australia. You start like this kind of standard place, and then you can unlock maybe a street area where you have a lot of street races, or they have the Outback, which you do more off-road stuff.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much, think of what kind of car, and it's going to be in here. They got off-road cars, they got street cars, then they have hypercars, they have supercars, old
SUVs,
cars.
everything.
They have like old, I saw like an
Stratus.
old Plymouth and like an old...
That you just pick all the cars you've owned. I drive a Dodge Stratus.
Anyways. I want to drive real life.
They have like old Woodies and like stuff like that. They have a bunch of like old cars,
like
and
Lamborghinis, and Jordan's like, "Where's the Dodge Stratus?"
An '85 Honda Prelude.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they probably.
You only had that for like a week,
a month.
No, but I think for me, so coming into this, I'm not a race car guy. Like the games that I enjoy that are race car games, like granted, they're like I like the kart games, Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Racing, all that stuff.
Car games, but okay.
Well, they're racing games, and then I also liked the games like Need for Speed Underground, where it's like you put the neon on the bottom of the car and it's got all this
Need for Speed Underground on the GameCube is probably still one of my favorite racing games of all time.
And I like that you can like change the paintwork and change the rims, like stuff that doesn't matter, right? It just it's all aesthetic, you know. So that's fun. But this game offers that. So that game allows you to have like custom paint jobs and change all the like the bumpers. Like it doesn't. There is actual tuning to it.
You can buy engine upgrade. It kind of has a little bit for everybody. So like, what's really cool about this game is if you just buy the stock car and you're happy with that, it always shows you like the community paint jobs and stuff, which is kind of cool seeing what's popular out there.
I did a Jigglypuff paint job on my SUV.
Yeah, so you see all the community stuff. If you're fine with that, it's fine. If you go into a race with that, all the other cars in the race will scale to whatever your difficulty or number is. There's like different ratings for each car. And if you soup up your car with all the engine upgrades, like I got a 97 Honda Civic Si, bumped it up to like as quick as a Lamborghini and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All the other cars will scale to that. So you can
cool.
be the super performance guy, or you just be the laid back arcade driver like David, and it scales to whatever car you have.
So let's cool. Now that we talked about it, let's do the review. So thumbs up, great game. Thumbs to the side, good game. Thumbs down, bad game. 1, 2, 3. We got one of each.
Jordan doesn't count, guys.
Jordan put his thumbs down
because I hate racing games.
You don't even play it.
I don't need to play it. I know.
So I put my thumb to the side. I thought it was a good game. Gerald put it thumbs up. Thought it was a great game. Some of the reason for my opinion of it is one, I'm just not. This is not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
So don't let that dissuade you as to. That's why I think it's a good game. It's mostly because I don't play these types of games. I can appreciate one. The game is gorgeous. Like
other than like Tomb Raider, the last Tomb Raider game, this is probably the prettiest game on Xbox One that I've ever seen.
Which that's what these games are. I mean, primarily for is the gearhead, right? So like they have like the J.J. Abrams lens flare that pops off of that hood when the light just hits it. Like it's like you can
They do
jerk
the
off to these
slow-
cars.
Yeah, they have the
it's like-
car porn area. We can open all the doors
Yeah.
and just rotate. And
Yeah,
like
it's like-
go zoom in. All the textures are like high and everything. And
Yeah, and so I enjoy that part of it. I also like that the game has kind of this. It does two different things. One, you have like the racing, traditional racing, and then you have like these ones where it's like you have to do a stunt, like you have to jump off this mountain, and how far can you go? I mean, you get points by how far. So I
It's
appreciate.
like speed traps. All those like little things.
Yeah, there's like
amongst the
cameras, and you
races.
gotta set the high score on the speed trap while you're on the freeway. Like I like that kind of stuff. And
I was probably hitting this one of the PR stunts, the jump ones in the city area that I unlocked, probably for about an hour last night. Like I got 2, I got to get that 3rd star. It's like you need 15 meters more. I'm like, oh come on, man.
But yeah, and it does that cool thing, like when you're up in the air, it'll slow mo, take the camera 360. Like it definitely plays up the cool factor of it.
You're racing like one of the first races. You're racing a Jeep lifted by a helicopter, which is kind of cool. It's for like ridiculous stuff you'd see on something like Top Gear. You're racing jets. On another one, I'm racing a train. Ridiculous stuff like that, but it makes it fun.
I also like that it has that story mode of it because again, I'm not a car guy, so I'm like I just want to race. I want to see what the game's about. But it doesn't let you skip the story aspect, and the story's interesting. I was joking with you. The person I picked looked like Kristen Stewart. And so I nicknamed her Belle. So I went with the whole Twilight theme, went with the thematic theme.
Her name's
So
Bella, David.
I know, but she goes by Belle with me, and there was no Bella choice. All right, so
Yeah. By the way, that is really cool. The customization is you pick a character kind of predefined, but there's like a bunch of different names that's embedded in the game. And I actually had Gerald, so he's like, "Okay, Gerald, let's go to this next event." I'm like, you said my name."
But it's cool. They have different locations. They've got like a tight corner city location. They've got kind of like you could drive on the beach, which is cool, or they have like the outback, which is like a bunch of dirt hill places.
Kangaroos, huh?
Oh well, it's funny.
Kangaroos.
Well, we were playing because the other reason I think it's really cool. There's this co-op.
Co-op, you can do the campaign co-op, so like you and a buddy. I don't know how many people.
I think it's
you
like up
can
to
do,
11 or 12 people. It's a lot.
which is crazy. But like the progress you make in each other's games will go toward your own game, which is kind of cool. So the fans you gain, all that stuff will go towards your campaign.
So when we were playing online, when you hop up and down, like if you hit like a bump and you hit another bump, it'll say kangaroo and it'll give you points for it or something.
I was driving a Halo Warthog, by the way. They put that in the
And
game.
he's like,
that's
and he thought he hit a kangaroo. He's like, did I just hit a kangaroo? I was like,
I
I
didn't see
don't,
anything.
I don't know. It's the outback, man.
You get
Maybe.
points for hitting kangaroos.
But that's another cool part of the game. Like Dave and I it's a huge map. We're in this game together. It's like, okay, well, I got to get to David, and David's got to get to me, and it's like, oh, we don't need roads, all right?
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
And you're
Yeah.
just driving, you just drive wherever you want, kind of thing.
It's
and
very
there's
open
trees
world.
and stuff, and I think you were trying to go to the mountain at the edge of the map, and that's where they have like a border where you can't cross.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's all open and just drive wherever you want. And
You get
they have
spoiled now
races
with
and all
these
this kind of stuff.
these open world games because you're used to like if you see it you can go there, and like in car games like, well, you can't drive up the freaking mountain, you moron. And I'm like, I want to drive up the mountain
Through the ocean,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
drive.
But overall, I really do like the game for what it is. It's just not my cup of tea, so I can appreciate it. If I was more into this game, I would definitely give it a thumbs up. There's nothing I don't like about it other than I just don't play these games.
Yeah.
Right. So what would you say about it? Why is it such a great game? Because you do play racing games.
I don't play a lot of racing. The last big racing game that I played was the reboot of the Need for Speed that came out in November, I think, of last year, and it was fine. I wanted something more like the Underground because I think that's like one of my favorite games. It's
Yeah.
like the ridiculous arcadey stuff. Need for Speed kind of had it, but I don't like they kind of did it a little bit too serious than I like. The last Forza game I played, other than like the brief in Forza Horizon 2, I played Forza 3 on the 360. I played the crap out of that game, but I'm not really into the simulation anymore. I just more like the more
It feels like
sit down, do a race, do like one of the PR stunts, and then put it away kind of thing. You know, just more.
Yeah, I think
Casual.
it's sometimes games, and this is the same problem I have with some board games. Like sometimes complexity can just be there's so much. It's not one thing is complex. It's just here's everything about everything, and it's just like, dude, I just want to ride. I want to drive a car fast. But it does strike that balance. You know what I mean? It does. If
Yeah, and you
wanna
can turn off a lot of those different when you're doing a race. There's like brake assist and all this kind of stuff. You can turn off and on any of those options to make it more simulation. Like if you want. Granted, you're not going to have parts flying off your car or anything. There is slight damage to the cars, but you're not going to have anything crazy like you would a normal Forza motorsport game. But
Was that
it has like
because-
the rewind feature, which is kind of cool for real casual players. Like, I messed up that turn, but I don't want to have to restart the whole race. There's a button you just hit Y and it rewinds you back.
Does it slowly introduce you to all the stuff, or is it just throw it all at once?
No,
Because
it's
I think
slowly.
that's a big difference. If
There's
it's-
like an hour and a half of the game where you can't even do the online yet until you like unlock the first location.
and
do all this kind
that's
of
a
stuff.
double-edged sword because I was like, I want to play. I've heard so much about this co-op thing from Gerald. I want to play, and it's like, oh, I got to play for like 2.5 hours to like get, and I understand why they do
Yeah,
it.
it's walking you through the game.
But it's like, then I understand, but it's also like one of the big features of this
can't
game
get
is
to
that, and it's like, well, like it's like if co-op in like the next Call of Duty, you had to play an hour of the people would lose their minds.
Right.
You know what I mean? It should be an option. Like, hey, I can learn the game, or like some games.
But
will
if
be
it
like,
was a brand new shooter that no one's ever heard of, maybe they would have that limitation. But because everyone's played Call of Duty, they don't.
well,
really
this
have
is Forza Horizon.
Forza.
Forza 3 or whatever. It's Forza Horizon 3.
No, I know, but they do have a lot of stuff that's different than the last game.
And,
So I
and most
get
people
it.
drove a car to probably buy the game, so it's not like
Yeah,
it's a new
maybe.
concept.
Right. Well, I just know, like in like World of Warcraft, when you start, like you have a couple moves, and then by the end you've got
Yeah.
18 things you can do and like different stuff. If you just sat down with 18 things, you wouldn't know what's the best combo.
Yeah, and this game does a good job
all,
of
like,
slowly pushing
yeah,
you towards.
if you don't have that intro, you just sit there and not know what to do.
But yeah, the game is I think the beauty of the game helps it a lot along. Even if you don't like racing games, it just looks too pretty not to like. Wow, that looks real.
So the Bear of Entry, solid.
Bear of Entry is solid. Drink up, everybody.
The other thing, this is one of the first games that supports their new Microsoft's new Xbox Anywhere thing. Recore being the first game, which means if you buy the digital version of this game, you get a free code, a free copy of the game for Windows 10. As long as you have the anniversary update, of course. I downloaded the game on my Windows 10 PC.
Yep.
I could barely play it. They don't have minimum system requirements.
We're talking about car porn here, right? You're not gonna get grainy car porn.
Well, like you can lower it and it's bearable, but like normally most games would be like, this is the minimum you can play at, and this is what we recommend. Theirs is just recommended. That's it. Which kind of
we
sucks.
strongly
so, like,
recommend.
yeah, unfortunately,
whatever you
so
want.
and obviously it looks better on PC. Not for me, but it's cool that they're doing
No,
that. You get
more-
a free copy of the
More
game
free
for PC.
stuff. I think I know PlayStation does that with like if you buy PlayStation Vita with like PlayStation 4, some of the games flip back and forth. I think it's mostly like downloadable games and stuff like that. But again, more free stuff. Yeah, I'm for that.
Exactly.
I don't even consider it free. You're paying for the game. It's like we
Yeah, but
should get it on every platform. I don't think that they
No,
should.
because you're technically buying a license, Jordan. You're not buying
I
the
don't
game.
care. I'm buying the license to play the game. So
I mean,
should be
as
able
your
to play
attorney
it
friend,
on
I will
whatever
tell
I want.
You know when you
play it
click
on.
agree and you don't read all that stuff?
Yeah,
It's like the iTunes agreement. You didn't read it?
Remember when your dad used to read
Oh
everyone?
my god! I had
Really?
a whole.
He was that person?
I had
Yeah.
I had a whole comedy skit that I was going to do like a stand up about helping my dad install Word. It was like,
It was ridiculous.
oh, he's like, what did that say? Go back. I'm like,
He
Dad,
would
it's
read
just
the whole. Was it
No, he
EULA?
wouldn't.
And use the license agreement?
no.
Wow.
He would be like, well, what does it say? Why am I agreeing? What am I agreeing to? And honestly, at the same time, it's like, yeah,
He's right.
Yeah, no, I agree, but it's just like, Dad, I gotta go outside and play. Like,
It's like, do you want to use Word? You have to click OK.
it's called the contract of adhesion, Dad.
It's like you can say no if you want, but then you're not going to use this.
But in that solid game, I recommend everyone go get it. Obviously, if you like racing games.
And it's $60, right? It's standard price. They're
Yep,
not like
standard
low-
pricing.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's only on Xbox One because
Xbox One and Windows 10
Okay, cool. All right. Next thing we want to talk about is the story of the century.
of the week.
Good job.
All right.
This week, Gerald's got a doozy for us.
We're going to Mars!